order to be more quickly understood by others, one must first draw them in and warm them to have confidence. Just take the plunge and call out to people casually.
So, nice to meet you.
Sir.
Knowing Naruto's temper, I can imagine what must have gone down.
No, it's nothing like that.
Legendary even to those in the Foundation.
About Sasuke, too.
But with my power, there's just no way. I wouldn't be able to bring him back now.
Yeah, but the way he's grown, after all, they do have Kabuto with them. No book in the world could explain the kind of...
Do you think I've just been lying here doing nothing the whole time? Or rather, I should say, it's something that will only work with Naruto.
Hold on. I'd surpass you, Kakashi-sensei? What are we going to be working on?
But in order to obtain that kind of power, you'll have to put in an enormous amount of time, and it won't be like learning a pre-existing jutsu, like the Rasengan.
Sasuke's gonna...
If you'd let me finish, I figured out a way to do it fast.
What's up, guys?
Call la Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, Waha, Waha. Double honors to the hopefully elect elder apostle slave to be saved. Lord willing, starting with those at the Great Millstone Church. On down to the rest under this doctrine, to the men here, brothers here, in the order. Giving all diligence, okay, and to the brothers in general, the men in general, from the elder brothers, you elder brothers, teaching this truth, on down to the younger brothers, you younger brothers teaching this truth in all true faith and sincerity, shalom. And to the rest of the believers, you men, women, and children of the Israelite race, all right, shalom, ultimately to the elect, those that are about to go on to be found to have been in the house of David, in which we all hope we are, we will be. So back with another lesson, and it's going to be titled Elder. This basically this whole elder thing, this word elder, the word elder or elders. And you see in the title it says understanding the term and concept and purpose in this ministry. Okay. And I use the clip you just seen from Naruto, the anime Naruto, those that are familiar with it. It's a good anime, very relatable, a lot of edification, you can get out of it. Say the spirit of the Lord is in all things. The Lord's incorruptible spirit is in all things. According to the Apocrypha. And basically in that anime, you see the term sensei was put upon that, the guy Kakashi, with the white hair, the gray hair, white hair, whatever, right? Which everything's a play off the truth, if you just perceive it by the spirit. And that's what he was called by Naruto, who, ironically, was the strongest on that show. He represented pretty much the chosen one. Someone, getting built up in this in their thing, to go on and become, to reach the highest pinnacle of, their thing. Those that's familiar with the show, I'm not gonna spend time explaining. But yeah, he was young, and he even said it in that part. He said, I'm gonna become greater, I'm gonna surpass you, Kakashi Sensei. And that's more so my the focal point, which we're gonna relate to this word elder, that word sensei, that he was called by the one that was actually, destined to be greater than him, was being built up to get to his point of, greatness, and yeah, he called him sensei. Now, the sensei is, you see right here, is the, I'm trying to keep this simple. Lord willing, I can, make this quick as possible. Sensei, when you go into that term sensei, it says it is an honorific term shared in Japanese, in Chinese, and it is literally translated as person born before another, or one who comes before. Okay, and basically, pretty much, we have the same term in our ministry, which is known as elder. Okay, and just really amongst our heritage of so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you grew up, learning to be those that that got some damn home training, at least to respect your elders, the elder thing, elder, who's the elder, stuff like that. And men just really, in its truth, a lot of people use this term, just to validate themselves in this ministry by saying double honor to the apostle elders or the elder apostles, however they say it. And it's bigger than that. It's an understanding you're supposed to have for that. And what sparked this is pretty much this week. Here at our congregation, we're gonna be pretty much, I believe, by the Spirit, Lord will, Adawan Rakazah, we're gonna be going into, different components, lots or ranks, whatever you want to say, ultimately, regarding this truth, because it's needed. We're a kingdom, and we don't have to wait till we're in the kingdom to, once again, as I said already in the assembly last night that took place, that we don't have to wait till we're in the kingdom to act like we're in the kingdom, as far as the things that, could be useful for now, what I'm saying, or that are maybe in season, there's a lot of things that you can pull that's going to be going on in the kingdom that could be going on now, in the spirit. What I'm saying? Just the fact of how we deal with each other. What I'm saying? That's one thing. And that's why I really want to focus on this word elder. What I'm saying? This whole term, these words that's just thrown around loosely. What I'm saying? This lack of respect. The scriptures talk about how in Proverbs the 30th chapter, there's a generation that's pure in their own eyes. People want to do this thing how they want to do it. They want to understand it how they want to understand it. They want to do it which is the things they're supposed to be doing, but not with. They don't want to have it. It's some that don't want to have it with the understanding they are supposed to have, and that goes into exactly, and that's just the times, and that's what Howard always focused on. He always talked about the generation that's off. They seek the sign, and there's a lot of people in this ministry that's a part of the generation that the Lord was talking about, regarding things that they address in certain ways and deal with it, etc., man. So once again, this word sensei is found amongst our ministry, man. Okay, and just to get these things out the way, because I know some probably sitting there thinking, trying to see where it's going. But anyway, the new birth, right? That's what it's headed. It says, this is St. John 3:2. It says, the same came to Yahushua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God, for no man can do these miracles that thou doest except God be with him. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, see, he just responded, verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. So they call him, Rabbi, right? And once again, this really is really our, even though we don't really speak English, but this is proof that this word sensei is found amongst, the ministry, which you're gonna see in just a second. And it says, so once again, sensei is an honorific term shared in Japanese and Chinese. It is literally translated as a person born before another one, or one who comes before. And that shows by Japanese people, that shows Naruto. Okay. Which they, once again, is an honorific term, which we're not here to seek our honor from men, but we are supposed to acknowledge the honorable, because the world doesn't. So, which I got scriptures on, but our people don't understand this, because really the word sensei just goes into elder. That's really what it goes into. You're going to see right here, it says, that in general usage, it is used with proper form after a person's name and means teacher. It also just means teacher. Okay, that's what it's dealing with. All right. It says the word also was used as a title to refer to or address other professionals or persons of authority. See that? So that's why he was called Sensei Kakashi. Right? He was called Sensei because it was an honorific term that was understood by those that was in that thing of theirs, that training, becoming it's been a minute since I really watched the show, so I can't even get everything correct, but basically the whole martial art world, the protecting of their village, their city, them being set up to fight as the good, to fight against the evil. That's what that whole show Naruto go into. And amongst them doing that, or a part of them doing that, or the components of them doing that consist of different people that was born, that will have honorific terms put upon them. You will have you have honorable people in certain regards. Once again, sensei being a word they use to show that, right, or to express that, or the fact that they acknowledge that, and for instance, it just once again means person before, born before, or one who comes before another, and they acknowledge things like that because that's true. Kakashi came before him. He's clearly older than Naruto, right? And you got teachers. Everybody's not a teacher necessarily. Everybody's not your teacher, So that's just how it goes, But even then, but if the man isn't your teacher per se, but he is a teacher, you'll see that man out like they do on the show. You'll still call that man a sensei, or meaning a teacher, or just acknowledging that he's because it's their focus, their thing. Like the scripture say, don't be honorable, we are spies. So we got, why we gotta wait to the kingdom to acknowledge we honorable? That shit don't make no sense, man. But once again, the Japanese people, Ammon, right? These Ammonites, these other nations, they understand these type of concepts, and our people don't. That's why we're so discombobulated and destroyed. Muslims have a problem with these type of things, acknowledging these things. You got men in this ministry that have senseis, if you will, teachers, but they don't want to necessarily really acknowledge that. They don't want to have the same respect. So you just a put on. You don't know what the fuck going on, man. You really don't. But anyway, it says the word is also used as a title to address, to refer to, or address other professionals. Yeah, I was listening to a brother's lesson, and he pretty much was going into the word presbytery, which has been taught here. And pretty much he summed it up, because presbytery just means elder, but he summed it up to just be the men over you, right? And that's true, but they're still denoted as elders. But it's like, I don't know. I'm not even gonna say. I'm just say this in general. You have people that have a problem with accepting things for what they are, you know, and it's you can't deal with it as it is. Like these people won't accept, okay, we're the Israelites, we're the prophets, we know what we're talking about, you know. Okay, I know you write about, you know, the Bible saying we can't celebrate Christmas, but I'm still just can't acknowledge it. Can't not acknowledge it for what it is. Yahweh Shah said, "What this wicked generation seeking for a sign? You want more? You need your ass whooped. You need destruction to come. You need chariots burning people. You need men burning holes through people with spiritual power for you to address things or deal with things for what they actually are. You need the sky to open for you, the Most High to come down and tell you, yo, don't celebrate Christmas. They've been lying to you. That's some bull. You know, when it's right in front of you, it's in the book, it's in front of a man that's down here with a mouth that you can receive and deal with on the level you own, because you can't deal with me. And he will put to you this book that tells that goes back to me, the one you say you believe in, which in this same book that he's sharing to you, this man I put down here on your level so you can receive it like that, that I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't deal with Christmas. Right? Jeremiah the 10th chapter. In so many words, right? But yet they still won't receive it, because those will be the people that fall amongst that generation Yahweh Shah talked about, which is what? The people that's this wicked generation seeketh after a sign, but no sign shall be given except the prophet Jonas. You know? But the boys using that point to say they can't address things for what it is, man. It's clear this man here, and he's the sign, and we, you know, okay, we gotta repent. Okay, destruction's on the way. He's telling us he's on, you know, we know the prophet's real. We know the Lord sends out we know all of this. But yet you will still have individuals that just can't address things for what they are and deal with the ministry in the way it goes and conduct themselves in the ministry in the way it is to go. But no one else besides our people have a problem with this, you know? Really. And then no one else is given this ministry, so it really don't even matter. But this is just to show these same concepts and principles that the Lord is trying to instill over here amongst us and us, back in us, right? Finally, it's to the point he's gonna have to force it in us, right? But in our spirit, for real, you know? But they have these same principles, you know, understood, you know, over there, man. But that's basically it. But anyway, it says the word is also used as a title, right, to refer to or address other professionals or persons of authority, such as clergy, which men say, okay, this is a business, we in the business, you know, this is a profession. Well, in the profession, right, it said they're said to be senseis. Moab understand this. A cartoon can get it right over Jake. We gotta do better. But when you go into you're gonna see this going to the okay, when you go into the word clergy, you got the word lawyer, right? And where they get these concepts from us. A clergy are formal leaders within established religions, hence churches. It says their roles and functions vary in various salakia and vary in different religious traditions, but usually involve presiding over specific rituals and teaching their religion's doctrines and practices. That's the clergy, the ones that's a part of doing it. Okay? You know, some of the terms used for individual clergy are clergyman, clergywoman, you know, which the teachers overall is the men, but then you got the women that got to teach the other women, the elder women teaching the younger women, you know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. They're part of the church. You know, you got the woman in the household that is to teach what her head has taught her to the children, the sons, you know, the daughters. Okay. It says clergy person, churchman. See, in parentheses, because this is something found amongst churches, found in churches. Who's the church? The church is the gathering of the Israelites back in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? You're gonna find these things going on. You know, you're gonna find senseis, those that's responsible for this duty, aka a clergy, the clergy persons, the clergy individuals, right? But you really only gonna find this being completed and understood and accepted, you know, and acted out by the Israel of God, of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you know, because which we know all aren't. Now, with that being said, that's what he was called, okay? So Yahushua was called this because he said, and said unto him, the same came to Yahushua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher. So you come from Yahweh. That's ultimately what Rabbi means. You go into it, you know, I'll wait because I got another point I'm gonna get. And it ultimately means master as well. Okay. So when you jump down, he started talking to well, this was Nicodemus came and told him. So he responded back to Nicodemus. He didn't deny what he said, but he responded back to him, you know, and started telling him these things. And Nicodemus didn't understand what he was talking about. He was like, you got to be born again. You got to start over. So many words, you need to be renewed in your mind. You need to understand certain things spiritually. You need to get a spiritual mindset, really, in order for you to ultimately even understand what I'm talking about as well. But when you jump down to the 9th verse, Nicodemus answered and said unto him, how can these things be? Yahushua answered and said unto him, art thou a master of Israel and knowest not these things? Okay, well, what does master mean? What is a master? The askalos. This is what, because that's really what, once again, let me just go ahead and bring it out because it's drawing it out. But ultimately, when you go into that word clergy goes into what? In Christianity, Hamashiachim, you know, Christianity, we know we the real so-called Christians, but we don't like that word. But anyway, it says specific names and roles of the clergy vary by denomination, and there is a wide range of formal and informal clergy positions, including deacons, elders, priests, bishops, preachers, pastors, presbyter, ministers, and popes. So ultimately, what? Sensei means elders. You see? It says in so-called Christianity, an elder is a person who is valued for wisdom and holds a position of responsibility and authority in a Christian church group, a Mashiachian group. You see, it says in some Hamashiachim traditions, an elder is an ordained person who serves a local church or churches and who has been ordained to a ministry of word, sacrament, and order. You know, that's ultimately what it go into. Filling the preaching and pastoral offices. See, there it is, Presbyterianism. All right, period. Elder, that's whoever's in that role. That's an elder. Okay. Hence a sensei. You know, and there shouldn't be any problem with addressing those in that role as such, because it's really disrespectful to not. It's dishonorable to not acknowledge the people in that stead like that. As I said before, it's more than 3-4 elders in Israel, man. You know, the men in these positions in these different camps, you know, in these, you know, really great millstone, but etc. But really anybody so-called functioning under the order of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you know, whoever in that position, that would be the elder. Whoever in those positions, those would be the elders, you know, or a sensei. See that? But elder. Sensei just mean elder. Ultimately, teacher, elder. You know, that's what it's dealing with. An elder may be a lay person serving as an administrator in a local congregation, or be ordained and serving in preaching. Not like Yohana, man don't even teach. His men go up more than him. It says teach in parentheses, teaching during church gatherings. This is the one teaching, or pastoral roles. There is a distinction between ordained elders and lay elders. That's a whole nother thing. So simply, Kakashi was an elder because he was a teacher, because due to the, obviously the wisdom, he was valued. He had that said to him because he was honorable, to be addressed as such, and then it just helped keep order, So that's basically it. But it's less, like I said, it's less about us, seeking the honor of men, but this is what's supposed to go on, which you'll prove a little later, okay? But anyway, when you go into that word, the masters, the akalas, right, which is what Yahushua was being called, which is what a sensei is. Well, they're really, when you go into the martial art field, there's a difference between a master and an elder, or a sensei, which is an elder. So you got master and you got senseis, okay? You got student, you got sensei, and you got master, okay? I think it's one more after student, but I'm not sure. But I know it's those three. Okay, but anyway, it says a master, you see in the New Testament, one who teaches concerning the things of God and the duties of man, one who is fitted to teach or thinks himself so, that's important to remember. It says of those who by their great power as teachers draw crowds around them. An example, John the Baptist, Yahushua, by preeminence used of Yahushua by himself as one who showed men the way of salvation, of the apostles and of Paul. It says, and Paul, he was very special because Paul, he wasn't a part of the 12, but Yahushua dealt with him directly. Just how you had men that wasn't a part of the 12 necessarily as well, and they was like little congregations, but they believed in Yahushua and they was casting out devils. At the same time, those that was known for following Yahushua was casting out devils, because that's really the only difference. They was just known versus these men that wasn't. Because when you read that account, it doesn't even mention their names. The disciples just came back and saying this men that's Yahushua said forbade them not. But there is no man that could do a miracle in my name and can lightly speak evil of me. He that is not against us is for our part, or on our part, paraphrasing. Okay. So you're gonna have instances of those type of situations, which is why that was recorded in the scriptures. So when we will be in the times now, we'll be able to, because this book should be able to help you see everything that you're looking at. It should be out, and you should be able to identify it according to its fruits, and it should fall into something in the scriptures. So you have instances like a Paul, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, it says of those who in the religious assemblies of the Hamashiachim undertook the work of teaching with the special assistance of the Holy Spirit, and then you had false masters, meaning false teachers, okay? So an instructor, etc. Now, I believe that's my point on this scripture, because I really want to try to keep this very short as always. Now, peep this. This is verse 26. It says, because you had so John was a disciple, as it said, right? He had disciples. He was a master, right? But it says St. John 3:25, there arose a question between some of John's disciples and the Jews about purifying. And they came unto John and said unto him, Rabbi, that he that was with thee beyond Jordan, to whom thou bearest witness, behold, the same baptizeth all men and come to him, right? And John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven, right? So he didn't deny what they said, but note how he responded. He just responded back like they call him a rabbi, which we know we're going to go on and get. Yahushua said don't be called rabbi or nothing like that. But once again, there's a difference between rabbi, which means master, and there's a difference between rabbi, which means master, and elder. Okay, but anyway, it says, so he responded back after them calling him that, right? Because why would this be written if there was something, against it? Which once again, ultimately it goes master going to one that's just a true teacher, teaching men unto the salvation of Yahweh Shema Shah. But anyway, it says John answered and said, a man can receive nothing. And I know I probably said that, difficult. But anyway, it says John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except to be given from him. Pete, it says, ye yourselves bear me witness that I said, I am not the Hamashiach, but that I am sent before him. See, because pretty much Yahushua will go on and condemn this, right? Which I'll get in just a second. Let me finish this. It says, so he like, yo, I'm not that dude, but men still giving him that title because that preference, if you will, due to what he's doing. He is a rabbi. He was a rabbi. He was a teacher. You know what I'm saying? He was doing these things, but he's not the rabbi. But anyway, and he was their rabbi, if you will, right? It says, verse 28, ye yourselves bear me witness that I said, I am not the Hamashiach, but that I am sent before him. He that had the bridegroom, he that had the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom which standeth and heareth him rejoices greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. This my joy, therefore, is fulfilled. It's all about Yahushua, right? He must increase, but I must decrease. This is what his response back is to his disciples that came to him, and basically pushing at him like it's like what he think. Obviously, they're saying what he thinks because he's teaching them, but his response is correct. His proper response is what Yahushua, teaches. We gotta see what Yahushua says, and that's a correct teaching. That's correct teaching. But anyway, it says, so he must increase, but I must decrease. He that cometh from above is above all. He that is of the earth is earthly and speaketh of the earth. He that cometh from above, he that cometh from heaven is above all. See that? And what he seen, he testified, and no man received his testimony. This is important because obviously he did this before Yahushua. This is what his case was before Yahushua came and condemned the rabbi thing. So note that's why this can be written. But when it was being John's case at the moment before Yahushua would come and condemn these things, look how he dealt with it. Look how he was dealing with this thing, which is really a completely different thing from what Yahushua was condemning. But anyway, this is verse 33. He that have received his testimony have set his seal that the Most High is true. For he who the Most High have sent speaketh the words of the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shah. For the Yahweh Shema Shah giveth not the Spirit by measure unto him. And that's dealing with Yahweh Shah. Because we got measures at the end of the day. We can't declare all the works of Yahweh Shema Yahweh. One thing Yahweh Shah don't know is when he coming back, man. That's it. But he know what the kingdom look like. He know everything. He said, I go to prepare a place for you. All of that, man. You know what the throne exactly looked like Yahweh sitting on. But it says, the Father loved the Son and have given all things into his hand. And this is how a true teacher is going to have you thinking. So you can come up properly in this thing. But it says, he that believeth on the Son have everlasting life, and he that believeth not the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God abideth on him. So it's all about Yahweh Shai, right? Pharaohism is exposed, right? So Yahweh Shai is really exposing these dudes. Peep this. Verse 20, Matthew 23:1. Then spake Yahweh Shai to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribe and the Pharisees sit at Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. But do ye not after their works, for they say and do not. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. So pretty much they take on these high chief looking ranking positions, you know what I'm saying? Which is cool, you know, and they speak the things that, you know, but they not really doing nothing. They're not really, whole time, they're not even really about this life. Bringing out all the things you should do. They not, you know, but they front. It says, but all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets, and greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi. But we know what rabbi mean now. It means teacher, one that's instructing to the way to the salvation of Yahweh Shai. And then it also said a master is also can be put upon one that's a false prophet, a false teacher, which we know they were, and they weren't actually the true rabbi of the true rabbi, you know, ism, if you will, you know, or you know, they weren't true teachers because they weren't teaching Yahweh Shai, man, at all. The way to salvation is not the law, man. But anyway, that's all, which is all they was teaching, and they weren't even doing the law. They didn't even understand that Moses wrote a hymn. Who wrote the law? The Torah, if you will. But it's really the whole book. It ain't just the first 5 books. There's more laws throughout the book, man. But anyway, but be ye not called rabbi, for one is your master, even Hamashiach, and all ye are brethren. Now, this is where you will get tripped up at, because one, John was called rabbi, but what Yahweh Shai just did was lay out to you the difference. He like, don't be like these men. And then we know rabbi also means what? Rabbi means it's a term that could be placed upon one to mean, you know, oh, I didn't even get rabbi. Rabbi also means master, but they weren't really masters. Like, which means teacher, right? Which is what John was being called, ultimately. You know, rabbi takes you in the master. So Nicodemus, he was called a master by Yahweh Shai. He like, how you don't know this though? You know what I'm saying? You don't understand what I'm saying? You don't, you know? But anyway, when you go into the word rabbi, once again, it still means the same thing. It says, it means my great one, my honorable sir, you know? And it says a title used by the Jews to address their teachers and honor them when not addressing them. An official title of honor, right? My master. See that? So rabbi ultimately takes you in the master, meaning master. So he's saying what? When you go back into the word master in St. John, and it's only for those that really want to, you know, go in this thing, man, because everything's spiritual. And I can't wait to get to the point of what I'm actually talking about. Okay. Which one was it? Bear with me. Bear with me. I wasn't rabbi. Which one was it? Where I went into? Slocky. Trying to get the word I went into. Which one was it? Slipped my mind. Damn. Which one was it? Let's see. Which one was it? Completely slipped my mind. Did I go into? Let me see. Not that one. Teacher. Okay, it was teacher. But anyway, which is what a master is, which is what a rabbi is. So it's all the same thing in a sense. In so many, upon so many, due to certain criteria being there. That's the best way I can say it. But he was like, don't be called rabbi or a master or teacher ultimately, right? Like them, which wasn't the same thing. It wasn't the same stead that was being placed upon John per se, because this word can also mean false teachers among Hamashiachim. So when you go back here, he said, what? But be not ye called, Matthew 23:8, ye rabbi, for one is your master. See, that don't make no sense. That's like a damn contradiction. That's like, Lord's not the author of confusion. Okay? So you jump back down here, they came to John and said unto him, Rabbi, he that was with thee beyond Jordan, to whom thou bearest witness, behold, the same baptized, and all men come to him. John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except to be given from heaven. He's like, I'm just a man at the end of the day, in this age. It's all of the Heavenly Father. I could come like this, but it's all, hey, call, a man be like, good lesson. Call on like how about Shemel Shah. That was a beautiful lesson you did, brother. That was a beautiful lesson you did, brother. Elder. Hey, call on like how about Shemel Shah. The elder brother did a beautiful lesson. Call on like how about Shemel Shah. The brother did a beautiful lesson. Call on like how about Shemel Shah. There's so many words of what he's saying, right? Now, so that's a different state that they was in. They was those teachers that was. They was those rabbis that was the false teachers. They was the fault. They was the Askalas that are false, because it's many words in the Greek for master, right? So read Surias, Osarias, Diaskolos, and you got what's the other one? The other one slips my mind, but really the only one that's always applying to us in this ministry as teachers, or whatever, working our way up to teachers, whatever, right? It's going to be the Askalas, okay? Which every time you see master, the word right there isn't always the Askalas. You see? So he said, but be not ye called a rabbi, for one is your master, thus showing you rabbi means master. Even Hamashiach and all ye are brethren. But what happened with John? So he's talking about in a different situation, in a different stead, in a different way, in a different sense. You're not that dude. You're not the master. You know what I'm saying? But we are teachers, because we know Rabbi also be going to teach you. So he's talking about in a different sense, man. You see, and call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your father, which is in heaven. But you had your house shot calling sisters his daughters, etc. So ain't no contradiction. These are in different senses. Then you have Paul telling men that he begot them through the truth, Timothy and Titus, and so forth. Then he said, neither be called ye master, for one is your master, even Hamashiach. Now we at the point. Now what we gonna do is look. This the other one. This another one. Katajitis.
Strong's G 2519. Kathegetes.
Katajitis or katajites. All right, however you want to pronounce it, but you really should pronounce it correct, just in case you're dealing with people on the streets, you know, and they supposedly scholarly.
Strong's G 2519. Kathegetes.
Kathegetes. And it means what? Well, point being, that's not the Diaskolos. See that? So he didn't say don't be called Diaskolos, which means teacher. See that? It's a completely different word, you know? And then this one means teacher. So he was talking about something else. He was talking about in a certain sense. Don't be in this light that they in. These niggas false. They're trying to act like they somebody they're not. Like they're me. That's why when John was called that, he had to let it be known, like, just in case you trying to make it like I'm that one, I'm not that one. I'm a teacher. I'm sitting here to teach. I'm a rabbi in the correct sense, in the proper sense. I'm not trying to be above my measure, you know? That's why you had men calling him that, and that's why that would be recorded. See? So completely different words. Completely different words. He didn't say don't be called this word. St. John 3. Hold on. Yeah. Rabbi, which is, nope, not that one. Where you at? Here, let's try this one. No, they ain't that either. Oh, this is so yeah. He ain't say don't be called this. You know, Diaskolos.
Strong's G 1320. Didaskalos.
He didn't say we don't be called that, which is all these things. One who teaches concerning the things of God, or of those who, by their great power as teachers, draw crowds around them. An example, John the Baptist. So that's what John the Baptist was being called. He was being called rabbi, which means teacher in this sense, diaskolos. That's why it was okay to stay. The Lord would allow us to be able to go on and read this. Yahweh Shah said don't need to be called masters. What is it? Kadat. We just play this shit. We ain't no Greeks. All right.
Strong's G 2519. Kathegetes.
Kathegetes. He didn't say don't be called Diaskolos or Didaskalos. He said don't be called Kathegetes. Period. It was different words. Now we're at the point. But he that is greatest among you, because does that mean you don't have teachers among you? You don't acknowledge your teachers. There's not a rank. You know, is he breaking that order? Hell no. Let's prove it. But he that is greatest among you, see, that term master is put upon men, you know, rabbi, teacher, master, same thing, you know, with upon certain criteria being there, being in place, you know, being amongst an individual, certain things to where one could be considered, right? Being found amongst an individual or in a certain place. They might not necessarily really be there, but they can look like they're there, but nonetheless it's there for all we know, right? Without examination. That's why we got to examine everything. See that? But but these terms simply mean what? Like going back into it, sensei, which is an honorific term, you know, which ultimately means what? Elder. See that? So they, which goes in, which is that sensei, which means elders, is one that holds great wisdom and responsible for, the teaching and teaching, authority over the church and lead the church. Virtually, a person used as a title to refer to or address other professionals of persons of authority, because we're all professionals in this. So we have to be professional, but you got different we have to address each other professionally, and that's gonna come by acknowledging certain order that is being laid out and has been laid out amongst us. See, so neither be called ye masters, for one is your master, even Hamashiach. He ain't talking about the Daskalas. He's talking about Kathegetes. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. Shall be your servant. See? So there's going to be order and rank, and you are supposed to acknowledge those that's greater amongst you. But it's the way they're supposed to move, which is not the point. Now, when you go into that word greatest, look what you get.
Strong's G 3187. Midzone.
Elder.
Thayer's Lexicon. Related entry. Megas.
See, elder, great S, because we all like greater going into great S. Like because we all great, you know what I'm saying? You got the greatest. You got, everybody got age, but you got elder, you got elder, elders. We probably all teach, but you got the elder, man. Like it's just that's how it goes. See? So that's what is being established amongst us. Elder, sensei. See that? Sensei, which is an honorific term shared in Japanese and Chinese, but this comes before us, and they just understand on the simple level as a person, acknowledging the person born before another or one who comes before another. You in conversations talking amongst the church, and here it is, you got brothers, it's really disrespectful. You got brothers addressing brothers. You got brothers addressing their elders as brothers. You shouldn't be calling no brother that's your elder your brother. That shit don't make no sense. That's disrespectful. That's not honor. That's dishonoring that brother. He done whole taught you. It don't make no sense. Like in general, right? Here it is. Yeah, to back the brother's point or a brother point, and you bring out something the brother taught you, and say somebody was listening, and then they be like, "How you learn that? Where you learn that from?" Oh, the brother taught me. They be like, "Huh?" So it makes sense when you hear brothers in the churches that get it, that ain't just being parrots as well, like what the elder brother, like the elder brother said. So that being put out there helps one understand, like, okay, you help build discernment for what's going on amongst this body. You can't see the order. You basically cloaking the fact that, okay, this brother may have taught everybody here. This brother may have taught, it don't make no sense to move like that. So that's why when we talking, you wouldn't address people certain ways. Like you call your mom, you'll call your dad. Like it don't make sense. How you address them. That ain't necessarily always a title. You know what I'm saying? But, because it ain't always going to necessarily be the case. Men slip of the tongue, stuff like that. But this is why we want to understand these things. We want to understand this term elder and the purpose of it. Because now nobody will try you based off you addressing and conducting yourself a certain way. Knowing you put yourself in position for people to come to you because you backing all these points or something like that. For demons to really try you, and they come to you and ask you all these questions because they think because you just also get it, and you don't even know none of the shit they asking you. But see, if we would address everybody like professionally, if we was dealing in this profession, according to this, you wouldn't have nobody come to you. You wouldn't have nobody that's looking for tires come to the lawyer. You know what I'm saying? You address these things as such. It just makes sense. You know, I can't think for people, man. I can't think for brothers. I'm trying, my job is just to teach. All right. So once again, the Lord, he's established, and that's what's to be found amongst us. Elders. You're gonna have people among you that's greater, right? Going into, once again, elder, okay, which is ultimately what a sensei, man. That's ultimately what it is. And it says what? And when you read the next verse, and whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. So yeah, you probably the elder, you probably dealing with brothers don't give you your respect. You know what I'm saying? Like a prophet, but it's just other lot. This is how it goes. A prophet is not without honor except in his own country, stuff like that. So it's just a continuation of that, really, for men that's probably dealing with this or something like that. But you ain't to go out your way and be like, oh, I'm, or call me this. You can only just edify. You know what I'm saying? We ain't looking to get honor from men any damn way, man. Because these same men you look to get honor from, they can fall out, man. So what's the point of even chasing the honor from men? You want your woman to call you a prophet, acknowledge you as a prophet, and the Lord could bug her ass out, and she just ain't, So what's the good, But it is a good, especially for those that's written to stay in. And if you hope yourself and are trying to move in a way to where you can, you just hope due to your actions, which is all predestinated, that you will go on and be of that number of those that's going to stay. You should be moving according to that, because we're going to get the scriptures of how we are to esteem one another. That's why Paul wrote how we are honorable, but we are dishonorable amongst men. That ain't to be found amongst us, man. That don't bring life. It say there's a word closed about with death. Let it not be once found amongst Jacob. We ain't supposed to be speaking words of death. We're supposed to be speaking words of life. That's like us sitting here, like the nigga just said, to brag the nigga point up, that's the words of death. We ought to address each other how we, for what it is, man. So everything can manifest. So whoever exalts himself, and I'm going to get this in the NLT, but those who exalt themselves, you see, it ain't that men ain't supposed to be necessarily exalted. Because the scriptures say, see if I can get that. This is, let's see. A thorn in the flesh. It says, think more of a man. You can read this one, but, think more of them. Let me see. Yeah. It says, for I say Romans 12:3, through the grace given unto me, just the same mentality, true teachers gonna have to sensei will have, right? It says, Salakia, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. And pretty much the scriptures say, honor them that, that's supposed to be honored among you, man. Period. And I ain't trying to go on a damn, rant. My point of mentioning these scriptures is so you can understand that. You don't exalt yourself. Other men do that. Let me grab this. Let another praise thee, not thy own lips. See, came straight up. See? Can't make that up. This is Proverbs 27:2. Let another man praise thee and not thy own mouth. See that? A stranger and not thy own lips. It's all throughout the scriptures, man. Okay. So yeah. So you don't, that's what he means by he that, because you basically, like them, the damn Pharisees, them niggas honor themselves, man. They exalt themselves. Nobody really, and they're not even doing nothing. Like, they're just retards. Like, if you doing good, men supposed to, go and see that, man. And you let men be convinced in their own mind. The only reason I'm bringing this out because men need to understand these things. You got people that literally grew up with no home training, not knowing, like that respect the elder thing is real, because with you not having that concept locked in your mind, you will miss out on a lot that the elder could teach you. And an elder, hence a sensei, which we're gonna get into, is not just some old man, somebody that look old as hell to you, which is a reason why people have an easier time calling these people or acknowledging these people as the elder, because of that. Because really, it's like they really just saying you just some old ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, because men have pride issues, man. Men got them really this fake ass testosterone stuff, and just be on some, just in the flesh, just be bugging. You like a man, you gonna lose something by acknowledging another man's greatness, you know what I'm saying? Esteeming another brother. That shit don't make no sense, man. Pride, man. That's prideful. It's like prideful not a minute. You ain't shit. Even men think you something, you be like, man, I ain't shit. But you got men that's not able to. It's easier for them to be like double honest to the apostles and elders, because there's a lot of men that just look at them like old men. But you don't even know what the term elder means, though. Those are not even just senseis. Those are senseis, but they ain't the only ones. And I could say master. Because we're supposed to be strive for the mastery. Okay. They on the mastery level. They on their way to mastery level. If they ain't there already, but that's for the Heavenly Father to reveal. Because, because I could say, but, I say that and then I go into another chamber spiritually. But yeah, man, that's it. Like I said, I can't think for brothers, man. I can't think for you. I can only just, give you the point, and, Lord willing, you get it. All right. So, for instance, right, that term elder, that term sensei, whole time mean elder. Check this out. Or you know what? Which is what Kakashi was called, right? So Kakashi, he was an elder. He whole time he was being called elder, right? Or really, because that's what sensei mean. He was 26. But the reason they gave him gray hair and made him look, if you may perceive him to be older, is because the wisdom he had. The scriptures say, see if I can grab that. Yep, that's the spirit. Was the Solomon 4:8. For honorable age, you see, for honorable age is not that which standeth in length of time, nor that is measured by number of years. See that? Next verse. But wisdom is the gray hair. So he was able to be deemed sensei because he ultimately had wisdom. But wisdom is gray hair unto men. See that? You can't make this up. As a child, he had the gray hair, man. You know? And he hit that point spiritually. It was all he old spiritually, man. It says, but wisdom is the great. He had the wisdom, man. You know, he knew how to maneuver and how to hold things down, how to teach others. He knew. You know, he could hold his own. You see? And that's how we are to be in this truth. But wisdom is the gray hair unto men, and an unspotted life is old age. Men that's in this truth. You got men that's getting through this maze. You see what I'm saying? With the wisdom of Yahweh Shemiah Shah. You know, they could be perceived to be young men. So are they still without honor? Hence, is that not an elder, a sensei? No. You're gladly mistaken. You carnal. That's what that means. You're carnal. You're very carnal. Because the scriptures say, real quick. Scriptures say what? Salakia. 1 Corinthians in the 2nd chapter. It says what? It says, First Corinthians 2:13, for which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Spirit teacheth, compare spiritual things with spiritual. You know? So you should be able to see in the spirit upon, you know, examining, you know, discerning spirits, you know, somebody to be old. Like I had a dream, for example, right, about the I quit calling him Brother Kazak, man. You know what I'm saying? The elder brother Kazak Yahweh. He Lord showed me in a dream, he was an old ass man. He had so much wisdom, like everything on him was great. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had this dream like a couple years ago now. But not my age, you know, but that's my elder, because he was used to get me out on the highways. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. And he's still older than me physically. So it's like both is there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'll be that shit off, you know? As you know, the elder brother Kazaki Allah. Now he saying he's some old ass man, like, you know, not Salaki. I'm not saying he, you know, a super old age man, you know, to the point like of not super old. I'm saying they like super old, but the elder apostle. No, we ain't saying that, but that ain't what elder mean. You see, James 3:15, this wisdom descended not from above, but is earthly, sensuous, and sensual and devilish. You know, you're supposed to have the wisdom from above, man. You know, you're supposed to perceive somebody that has the wisdom of above. the trial. The scriptures talk about the trial of men. You know, commend a man not before thou hearest him speak, for this is the trial of men. Every man will honor him that have found wisdom. Okay, we gotta do better, man. We have to do better. Like we talking about going into being rulers and stuff like that. You know, and men don't even know how to conduct themselves in a professional environment professionally. You know, in regards to addressing other professionals. You know, you ain't gonna do that at work. But see, men think they could just come into the truth and do what they want to do, man. You know, yeah. It's a Sirach 34:9. A man that have traveled knoweth many things, and he that have much experience will declare wisdom. So it ain't about it. Once again, wisdom is not of Wisdom of Solomon 4:8. For honorable age is not that which standeth in length of time, nor that is measured by a number of years. It's really about how much you done did. You know what I'm saying? How much you doing, your rate of growth. You know what I'm saying? It says, but wisdom is the gray hair unto men, and an unspotted life is old age. That's why Yahushua had the gray hair so early. Kakashi's painting with this. This is all a play off our stuff. Well, my little one, he got a gray hair in his head. You know what I'm saying? So you can't make this up. You know? So once again, a man that have traveled knoweth many things. Sirach 34:9, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. Men with a lot of experience, and if you got sense, you will be able to pick up on that and address that. You know what I'm saying? And then understand, okay, damn, this is an elder. You know what I'm saying? This man has wisdom. You know? This man is aged in the spirit. You know? Especially when you ain't did nothing. Next verse. It says, he that have no experience knoweth little. See that? So that's the point of having elders, because you can be spoon-fed, if you will, certain experiences. You know what I'm saying? You can have these experiences shared with you that you might not even go on to have. You know what I'm saying? So he that have no experience knoweth little. So that means you ain't got that much wisdom. You ain't at that honorable age yet. You're gonna get at that honorable age upon experiencing the truth in the spirit. But he that have traveled is full of prudence, you know? And then, the gray hair is just a physical manifestation of all that. Okay. I'm trying to get the scripture. I know I'm drawing this out now, but oh well. I like what we're going into. But anyway. Shit. There's one more scripture. I'll put that in very technical. He's just off top of my head. Yep. Praise no man. Sirach 27:7. It says, praise no man before thou hearest him speak, for this is the trial of man. Right? And I got a quick precept to that. This is it's a not yet. Let me find this scripture. Let's see. I think that's. Yep. Sirach 18. Sirach 18. So this is the link. There's a link to this in the 28th verse. It says what? Every man of understanding knoweth the wisdom. So if you're truly a man of understanding, you will know an elder when you see one, man. That's why they gave him gray hair. you'll understand why he had gray hair, you know. And that's why he was able to be deemed a sensei at 26, because that shit didn't have nothing to do with nothing, you know. But it says, and then Jacob immortal anyway. So, but anyway, every man of understanding knoweth wisdom, and will give praise unto him that found her. See that? It says, they that were of understanding in sayings, see, became also wise themselves and poured forth exquisite parables. So you will be able to see, okay, this man is built up in the spirit. You know, you talking about, he know how to move, he know what stuff mean, he can appoint, run it, all this, man. You know, and that's how he got put in that position. And ultimately, this is Team 7. He became a sensei 26. So when Naruto was calling him that, he was around that. When Naruto first started calling him that, that's when Kakashi was 26. So he was was younger than him. You know, obviously physically, but yeah, Kakashi was fairly young himself, you know what I'm saying? But really spiritually, you see, they wasn't on no level really, you know. I'm saying we esteem it, you know. So if you acknowledge this, what you were part of, there's no way that you could be addressing one. Like, how can they get it right, but they can't? You know? Teaching them what they moves mean, personal skills, how to, you know, you just watch the show. You know? And then eventually, you know, got built up, man. And he called him his sensei. He said, I'm gonna surpass you. But who was teaching him on that? Kakashi. You know? And then with spiritual Kakashi, I was single. You know? So that's why he had so much wisdom and he was able to be appointed, you know, even though most will assume that to be so, you know, will say that's a real early age, but that's why he was able to be appointed to being a sensei over others, because he was focused, like you see on the thumbnail with Bruce Lee and Ip Man. You know, that was his sensei. You know, and simply why? Because when he met him, he was already doing what he was trying to learn, and he would have gone on to have learned that from him, which Ip Man was already doing. You know, and he knew what he was doing. You know, so it's just fairly that simple. You know, and I have one more scripture going into that word master. Well, I got one more thing I want to get on that word master. Master, when you go into it, it says, no, this is going longer than I wanted to. Matter of fact, let me see how long I've been on. Damn hour. A damn hour, man. Shalom, an hour. I mean, a damn hour. I'm going to try to get this done, okay? I got too comfortable. But it's a lot that gotta be said, you know? It ain't. I got things. Let me see. You got people that think you just want to sit, talk, but you got to, man. It's like, we ain't got no choice anyway. Y'all brush me off, start running this. But it's one scripture I want to get. Okay, it was Rabbi. The one with Rabbi in it. And when you go into Rabbi, in the Strong's Thayer's Greek lexicon, it says repeated to indicate earnestness. So this is an individual that had earnestness. They had the earnestness on them. And earnestness was sincere and intense conviction. See, these are people perceived, which is why Howard Showers, he was called Rabbi, because he was convicted. That's all he was about. That's all he did. He gave his life to this. You know, and then when you go on and watch the rest of this video, 32, he hit the 7 Hokage, and he basically became a master. You know, he became the 6th Hokage. You know, according to this. But yeah, he was young the whole time, but because he had gray hair. But you know, that's basically the point, man. When he hit elderhood, he was able to be an elder, be over others, due to the rate of growth. You know, he had. Characteristics and experience and knowledge and wisdom he had acquired to himself, you know, by that point, due to his, you know, his walk. And that's spiritual. They said this is the last movie, the last Naruto movie. Okay. Which this bugged out because he's already a Hokage, so it's like when in reverse. But anyway, so yeah, that's basically that, man. I close those out, so that's explaining that. And yeah, that's basically everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I can just get these scriptures and that'll be it. All right. So once again, he's saying don't call men, don't acknowledge the take away the order, like all ye are brethren. Don't look, that's a contradiction. Verse 11, but he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. So that's not what he getting at. You know, he's saying basically how the Pharisees was moving, they was trying to act like they Yahushua, like they're, you know, they could, you know, in your life, like take your spirit or something like that. Nah, not in that regard. You're not rabbi, bro. You're not that master. You're not the good taste. You're not that, or taste. You're not that, man. You know, you're not that. You're not even the daskalas. You're not even that. You're not even a true teacher. You're not even teaching to the salvation of the Heavenly Father, which is through Yahushua. John did it, and all the other apostles did it. You know, but they didn't. So that's what he was trying to. But they would try to take on instead to get the glory, which is ultimately the same. Everyone of those lots get the same glory, being this teacher, this master, this rabbi. You know, the elder. You know. But ultimately, the main thing we will be amongst us is just elders. That's it, man. Elders, apostles, prophets, stuff like that. But we ain't supposed to be walking around a teacher, you know what I'm saying, master, you know what I'm saying, like in a sense. And if you, but it's just elder. Just keep it simple, you know. So, and whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. So if someone is an elder, they shouldn't be on the level of trying to, you know, that's not how Kakashi moved. He didn't move like that. Yahushua didn't move like that. Yahushua, he kept it regular. Should that deter the disciples from acknowledging those under him, from acknowledging his, you know? Because when you watch martial art movies, very humble. He barely talk. He don't even say nothing, man. The sensei, he's very humble, man. You know, and you'll take some men just take advantage and just get disrespectful, and that's why you end up out the truth. You end up like Sakari, you know, just because the elder apostles not going around exuding their power like their authority, like y'all assholes are. So they take that. Even though that doesn't change the fact that they have authority and they could exercise it, you know, but they take them not doing that as a chance for them to not acknowledge it and act like they're on their level. It's just crazy, man. And they got to talk about them, you know, because once again, it ain't 4 or 5 elders. You know what I'm saying? There's more elders amongst you. Ultimately, they taught us all through the spirit, but you got men that have directly taught you, man. That's your sensei. That's your elder. And the damn cartoon didn't even dress his like that, man. which is from an actual people being the so-called Japanese people, you know, Ammonites. So once again, the Lord couldn't have been saying that because it say right here, Isaiah 30:20, and though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. You see, and thine eyes shall hear words. There it is. So how could he come and be like, don't be called teacher? No, that's not what he was saying. Completely different word. Teacher is the daskalos, and master ultimately means teacher, but he's saying don't be kathejates, not the askalas, the daskalos. You see, it's different. Two different words. Two different words. You know? Then the scriptures tell us to strive for the master. He said that's not what he was meaning. You have men who, hey, you know, this shit out of order. This St. John 3:26. And they came unto John. And once again, we ain't pressing for it, man. You know, we're not, men, you ain't depressed for this. Men really in the truth, they really have respect, honor, integrity. They're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just how it should go. You know, but anyway, Saint, so you just got to throw the message out there, and that's just it, man. You know, we looking to get honor from Yahweh Shemel Shah at the end of the day. This is St. John 3:26, and they came unto John and said unto him, Rabbi, he that was with thee, right? Okay, did I get that one? Yeah, we already went over that. So yeah. All right, moving on. Another instance, 2 Kings 2:12, and Elisha saw it and cried, my father, the chariot of Israel. Who was he talking? You know, it says Salakia, and the horsemen thereof, and he saw him no more, and he took of his own clothes and he rent them in pieces. And then it goes on to say Elisha succeeds Elijah. But let me make sure. Yeah, because I believe this was just him and Elijah. So he's, hold on. I don't want to misspeak. Don't want to misspeak. Salakia. I'm gonna have to go back and reread that account, but that'll be powerful, man. I'll just leave it like that. That's cool. Okay. Just so I don't spend, you know, too much time on this. You know? Oh, originator or patron of a Patreon of a class, profession, or art. And you know what's heavy about that? Look, term of respect and honor. See that? Now you know what's heavy about that? That's what Jake says. Like how Fab, he calls himself the OG, but he said he's the young OG. So that's once again back in the whole the whole spiritual aspect of it. You perceive this spirit, you know, you perceive the fruits, man. Are men actually walking around with oranges growing out of their head? No, it's spiritual. You know what I'm saying? You see the works, okay, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You see the situation, okay, this is what it is. Men got pride, man. Men carnal. You can't be carnal. We can't be carnal. You know? We gotta have taste. It's just distasteful, man. You know? You gotta admit that shit crazy. But anyway, you go to OG, that's what it stands for. OG stands for original. See, there's Jake, man. You know? And you go into that word Abba, it says an originator. You know? You got men come in, you know, the whole talk by men, you know, that talk dumb and like it's just shit just completely off. You know, this man is completely an elder to you, man. You know, so why would he move another way? Naruto, you go into elder, mean what? Of earlier birth or greater age. It says of or relating to a more advanced time of life, prior or superior in rank, you know, office, validity. You know, that's what that term really it helps denote. You know, the ranks amongst us. Everybody here just brothers. Okay, well, who the fuck taught who? Men trying to come in and act like they learned themselves, and the men here standing here and taught them. That shit off. It just don't make no sense. That shit disrespectful. You know, men was meant by men. You fucking smoking weed, eat pork. You didn't even know your fucking. You didn't even know. You know you never seen a Hebrew word. You didn't know shit, nothing. And it's just it's just a brother. And you know, then the person older than you, that shit just dumb. It don't make no sense. This person is completely advanced in life, and you get all the experience from. You probably you ain't never even left home. You ain't experienced nothing. You know what I'm saying? You probably still at home. You know, it's just dumb. It's distasteful to do. It's not a becoming. You know, it's just not. And I'm gonna keep saying this shit. You know, I ain't gonna keep saying it. One having authority by virtue of age and experience. So that's what makes one an elder, right? Any of various officers of religious groups. A permanent officer elected by a Presbyterian congregation and ordained to serve on the session and assist the pastor at communion. Okay. So yeah, that, you know, leader, you know, that's that. Okay. So I basically touched everything. Just gonna run through these. This is James 3:1. My brother, be not many masters. Is he saying don't be a master? Nope. See that? Knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. And guess what the word is here, right here? See? Didaskalos. But wait a minute. I thought that was just the word for teacher. See? But the whole time, Rabbi is explained to be a teacher when you read this verse. Which Yahushua was called, and we in his stead. See that? So that's just didaskalos, man. Once again, in the New Testament, one who teaches concerning the things of God, you know, and the duties of men. You know, we got spiritual Kakashis and hitmen set up and etc. Man, one is who is fitted to teach. Of those who, by their great power as teachers, draw crowds around them. An example: John the Baptist, Yahushua, by preeminence, used of Yahushua himself as one who showed men the way of salvation. You know, Yahushua said, "I'm the teacher. I'm your teacher." You know, I'm the elder. You know, the shit just out of order, man. Men act like they don't hear the message. They don't let the Lord judge your ass. Don't think about it, man. Don't even trip, because you out of order. This is. Let's keep going. Wait, there's more. It says, yeah. So that's basically it, man. So my brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. Meaning what? Well, you read the NLT, dear brothers and sisters, not many of you should become teachers in the church, for we who teach will be judged more strictly, you know? So you got men trying to act like they, how you not going to address somebody, how you going to address an elder that has that authority that you don't as brother? But as if y'all got the same office, right? But you're not even dealing with the same demons, the same responsibility. You don't even have the same judgment coming your way. That shit is not even honorable. But this man has been forced to have to deal with this and is dealing with it. And you can't even honor that. Elite, like, damn, this is hell on every side, man. You ain't honored at home. It's just disrespect. It's cool, you know? So you can only feel, like for the elder apostles that's been dealing with this shit on back to the ancients. We really the ancients coming back. But anyway, this is Acts 14 and 23. Men don't want to call a man not a man they elder. That's their elder. That shit don't make no sense. Men, you shouldn't address nobody that's damn near old enough to be your parent, or old enough to be your parent or have taught you, doing things you can't do, did things you ain't even did yet. They grown as hell, they grown in this truth. Everything you mimicking them and stuff. When you publicly addressing this person amongst other people, you calling this person just brother, when this is your whole elder. It's a whole, it's just crazy, man. But we shouldn't do that, none of us. That's why I had to stop doing that shit. But anyway, this is Acts 14 and 23. If you got a problem with it, something wrong with you. And you're carnal. Well, you ain't no old ass man. You know what I'm saying? That's really why brothers are able to just call a double honest to the pot like it ain't nothing. Because you, in your head, that's a term of rank. So you probably feel like you denoting yourself. But that's what we're supposed to do any goddamn way. And another's supposed to pick you up like, nah, brother, this is how we do. Like, brother, you ain't black, brother. You ain't a nigga, brother. Sister, you ain't no stripper, sister. You a princess. But men don't even do that to the men around them. And that's why judgment needs to start at the house of Yahweh Shemiah Shah. Men go get their ass cut before Passover, man. Men go get cut after Passover. And it's due to reasons like this. You got to be faithful in little. There's little things, man. Why did Yahweh Shah tell us the kingdom is within us? For no reason. For it to just stay dormant and just manifest when everything blow up. No, it's for it to manifest over time and for us to realize that. Start acting like that, man. And he went on to say, well, a kingdom that is divided amongst itself cannot stand. But we need to understand that we are a kingdom because even though we don't see it, it's within us. So if we would start manifesting kingdom behavior, kingdom-like tendencies, that's in season for the time we may be in, the time we are in, we can stand and obviously have a kingdom. But most ain't gonna get it till it's too late. This Acts 14, 23, it says, and when they had ordained them elders in every church. So it's elders in every church. It's elders in every church in Yahweh Shemiah Shah. Elders, not the men over you. You know what I'm saying? Men, damn near young enough to be brothers' sons. You know what I'm saying? On some real stuff, man. That shit highly disrespectful, man. Or you men old enough to be your whole dad, you talking about brother. And then they the one taught you. See, it's different if they ain't taught you. Done dealt with you directly one-on-one, showed you stuff, gave you things, you ain't stiff you things you never even considered. Trained, led you to believing in Yahweh Shemiah Shah. Training you up. Men just want to be great. They want to be greater than you, but they don't even want to acknowledge what Naruto did. They don't even he said, well, I'm going to be greater than you, Kakashi Sensei. And Kakashi Sensei was willing. You're like, yeah, but you got to listen. I have to show you. I have to teach you. This is why he is sense. He's his sense. He's his elder. Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Tahar on down, they talk about that all the time. They have, pretty much manifested that scripture, how you went on to learn more to your elders. And every man ain't going to do that anyway, because every man not on that level. You be out your goddamn mind if you think that's just a popular thing out here. No, that was rare occasions. So you got rare occasions with like Paul, certain churches that's really in Yahweh Shemiah Shah but not known, and then young OGs, young elders, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so that's what's supposed to be. And so there's proof. And had prayed with fasting, they commended them to the Lord on whom they believed. 1 Timothy 1:5. For this cause I left Titus 1:5. Which Titus, when you read the book of Titus, I'm gonna read my prologue. Titus, This is to prologue in my Bible to the epistle of Paul to Titus. Titus, a young pastor, faces the inevitable assignment of setting in order the church at Crete. Paul writes advising him to appoint elders because he was super young, men of proven spiritual character. So we're getting. Esau even know what makes one of them elder. Is this some old nigga? Is it nigga that that look like Steve Harvey? Is it a nigga that look like Ricky Smiley? Is it a nigga that look like Cedric the Entertainer? A nigga that like Yoda. You know what I'm saying? It says, Paul writes advising him to appoint elders, men of proven spiritual characters, men that went through shit. Most of the shit you could go through that you haven't went through yet, they went through and they got through it. And they kept their integrity through it. They didn't fold in all regards, dealing with women, traveling, whole certain responsibilities, having kids, being in the ministry, but having other responsibilities, having people do certain things to them, but yet still prevailing and keeping their integrity, and they still here, having their family turn on them, but they still here, going through certain breakdowns, and they, and having an understanding on that, dealing with cops, dealing with being locked up, men that have did things, man, spiritual character, men that have owned things, ran their households, they run their households, because another word for elder is bishop. That's what the bishops are. But it says, look, men of spiritual character in their homes and businesses. See that? To oversee the work of the church. You see, men that actually had businesses that they deal with, not necessarily physical businesses, but those too, just actual business. Men that have stuff going on, priorities and things they're responsible, big, heavy responsibilities. And they live through them to tell, and gain wisdom through going through them, and which is what they're here to tell. So they develop spiritual character. That's an elder. And really, on top of they understand these scriptures. You see? That's what a true elder would hold all these things, man. It says, or like a sensei. See, Kakashi had that, man. Kakashi, he was also mastering women. That's what he was reading in the little book the whole time. But anyway, it says, but elders are not slacking. Let me read it again. Paul writes, advising him to appoint elders, men of proven spiritual character in their homes and businesses to oversee the work of the church. But elders are not the only individuals in the church who are required to excel spiritually. The ones that's really growing on the spiritual level, they really grow spiritually. They grow at excessive rates, like the scriptures say, or epistles say. If a man cannot rule his own household, how he gonna rule the church of God? So this dude his household not even together. He wouldn't be no elder. He can't even, the shit out of order there, man. Now shit can still happen in a man's house, but it's how he deal with it, and if he keeps his integrity, because you got things that tries. You see what I'm saying? And what he learned from it. Men and women, young and old. Men and women, young and old. You see? But elders are not the only individuals in the church who are required to excel spiritually. Look, men and women, young and old. How is that written if elders only old people? So-called old people. See? Certain requirements that's needed for one to just be deemed an elder, man. It's spiritual, and then it's physical too, but it's more so spiritual. You have men that have lived things in a lifetime, but it's all the Lord, everything clear. So that's basically the point. I ain't gonna read through all of this, you know what I'm saying? each have their vital functions to fulfill in the church if they are to be living examples of the doctrine they profess. It says, I read the rest of this. It says, throughout his letter to Titus, Paul stresses the necessary practical working out of salvation in the daily lives of both the elders and the congregation. You see, good works are desirable and profitable for all believers. So that's basically the point. Now, when you're going to read this in Titus, the 5th verse, the 1st chapter, the 5th verse. For this cause I left thee in Crete, that thou should set in order the things that are wanting, and ordain elders in every city as I had appointed thee. You know, appoint elders and ordain elders in every city. You know, in the NLT, I left you on the island of Crete so you could complete our work there and appoint elders in East Town as I instructed you. And Titus was young, you know, some Kakashi stuff, man. You know, Yahweh Shai was 30. You know, Yahweh Shai was 30. You know, he had went through shit, you know, so he was able to be called, you know, elder. He was being called rabbi, master, teacher. Simply just what? Elder, or the greatest. Greatest meaning whoever is the elder among you, man. You know? So this is 1 Peter 5:1. The elders serve God willingly. The elders which are among you, I exhort, who am also an elder, right? And a witness of the sufferings of Mashiach, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Feed the flock of God which is among you. This is what elders would be doing, right? Taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind, neither as being lords over God's heritage, his heritage, but being examples to the flock. Yeah, not here to throw out, you know, wait around, just use men, and you know what I'm saying, like you damn, you know, gonna send a nigga to outer darkness or something, you know. But you just keep reading. It says, verse 4, and when the chief shepherd shall appear, that's really why I was leading that these men are still in an authoritative state. It says a when that you don't want to play with, man. You don't want to disrespect, because they're deemed as elders according to this. Because it says, and when the chief shepherd, or they're deemed as shepherds according to this. Because it says, and when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. You see, talk to the elders. Likewise, that's in all churches. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder, not the men over you. The men over you. You know, you grow up and see things for what it is for yourself. Don't use things as cop-outs to act like a fuck nigga, act like a little bitch ass nigga, man. You know, have some balls, man. You know, have some balls about yourself. Be bold in righteousness. The righteous as bold as a lion, man. Proverbs 28th chapter in the 1st verse. You know, men want to be bold and go out on a limb and say shit they shouldn't say. They haven't even been taught. But you can't be bold and go out on a limb and be a spiritual trendsetter and acknowledge and do things that it's certain things in this book that's found amongst the righteous according to things that went on in the church then that ain't even being done right now. Who's gonna be spiritual trendsetters and bring them back? Because that's what trendsetters do. They bring back what was already going on that ain't nobody else doing before anybody else do it. You know, that's why the elder apostles over their peers. Ain't about looking cool. Ain't about what's just accepted. It's about the whole road, man. You see? So likewise, you younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yeah, all of you be subject one to another. You're supposed to grow in this and be clothed with humility. And I don't say these type of things to talk shit. It's to motivate brothers, man. You know? It says, and be clothed with humility. You see? That's what we're supposed to do. supposed to be clothed with humility. For God resisted the proud and giveth grace to the humble. See that? That's what you're supposed to do. You know? And we all be subject one to another, man. And be clothed with humility. How can you show your humility? Your humility is supposed to show. You know? Well, I know you my elder, I just don't, you know what I'm saying? Well, I know it's my elder, I just don't. The Sakari ain't clothed with humility. Because your clothes show. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shah, that he may exalt you in due time. Because remember, this was to the elders. So this is how we are to serve, and we all trying to get exalted, man. But you got to do the things and go through the process to, you know, go through that as well, man. You can't try to take on the stead that, you know, a position that brother hold, but it took a bunch of shit he had to go through to get to that point, but you just want to jump to where he's at. Like, no, that ain't how it worked, man. And you don't even acknowledge all that shit it took for him to obviously get here. Just say the thing, well, how does dude get here? How does this man get here? What could possibly, you know, what could his life have been like? What has him so convicted? You know? Shit crazy, man. Christian conduct, Hamashiach conduct. 1 Thessalonians 5:12. We beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you and are over you in the Lord. You see, and admonish you, right? Warn you, and to esteem them. So those that labor among you and are over you, you're supposed to know them. Get close with them. It says, and admonish you. The ones that's doing these things, they laboring among you, doing the work, always doing the work. They're over you, and they warn you, right? It says, and to esteem, this is what you're supposed to know, the brethren, and to esteem them very highly, in love for their work's sake, and be at peace among yourselves. Why these things got to be written? Because men won't be doing them. But how would you show that esteem? In the instances you can show that esteem, that time, that honorific term of just saying, you know, professionally being in the profession when you're amongst the church and you addressing brothers, you know what I'm saying, the professionals that's here by their professional terms, man. You just moving professionally. You can't be in this profession being unprofessional. You cannot do that. In this profession, we are to esteem these men very highly in love for their work's sake. All they doing is trying to continue the cycle till we out of here. Get you to this point to where there's other men doing it to you now. That's how it goes. Like, whole point, full circle. I'm gonna be over you, Kakashi Sensei. You know? As when men get old, they lose their strength, you know, anyway. You know? So it's just fucked up, man. It's fucked up. So the moment where you can show that you are completing this commandment, like the brother said, it's your whole elder. You talking about like the brother said. That's your elder brother, man. You know what I'm saying? That's your elder. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers don't do that, man. You got wives that don't even want to call their husbands Lord, man. But they princesses. They finna get on the shit. Why we gotta wait till we in the kingdom to move like that and to talk like that? Is he not a Lord? As the Lord said, have I not said ye are gods? Everybody full of shit. A lot of people full of shit. This is Philippians 2. And you see, be like a Mashiach. Right? I'm gonna start at 1. If there be any consolation in Hamashiach, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, right? We get together, you get in the Spirit, right? Assemble yourselves. If any vows and mercies, fulfill ye my joy that you be like-minded. We need to be a certain vibe. We need to be under a certain. We need to be moving in a certain way. We come together to do that. It says that you be like-minded, understanding these things that has been gone over in this lesson. Having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. We want to love what Yahweh Ba'Shem Shah set up for us to love. You know, we want to be on one accord regarding that and in one mind. you know, which is the mind of Yahweh Shai. All of this, man. It's his mind. Yahweh Ba'Shemim, Yahweh Shai. Right? Verse 3, this the point, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness let each esteem other better than themselves. If everybody's just brother when they're said to be elders in every church, hence the sensei, and you can see on the cartoon them use that term in their profession, you know what I'm saying? Or not even just use that term, but more so just move with that type of conduct. Because we're not fucking here for no fucking terms, man. That's not the point. But these are things that this is the aspects, if you will, of the type of conduct that's supposed to be going on specifically. You see? So once again, it say, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. I'm not doing this, you know, for men to be getting vainglory or whoever, myself, whoever the fuck. It's not for that. We ain't supposed to do that, you know? And you shouldn't, you know, and you shouldn't want it for vainglory. You shouldn't want this to be for vainglory, for us to just look cool or look like we believe. Nah, because we really see it and we really get it, and it's old. You know, the world treats us like shit, man. You know, everybody proud as fuck in the world, man. Nobody want to respect more as they sound just like copy off of every goddamn thing. I sat down and talked to them, and that shit fucked up, man. That shit is bogus. Like I said, people never get their flowers till they dead, man. That shit crazy. Men wait till men become old, can't even move their back, now they elder. Basically, you just, yeah, what's up, old man? Yeah, they old men. How was they treated when they was a little younger, though? You know? Fuck out of here, man. It says, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other. Guess what? When House shall come back, he's going to be old. But he's going to be young. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be young. Really, that's how I wanted to say it the first time, but you know, it's about the spirit. He's going to be young, man. Old in spirit, but he's going to be physically young. This young man. And he was more exalted than all of them that have set the crown upon a, man, fuck Jake. This got an alert. Fuck Jake. How about that? It says, but in, you know, these niggas, it says, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. So when you got instances, cases, or scenarios that's easily set up for you to do that, you should be scoring. It's like if you get a free cut to the basket, lay the ball up, bro. You need to score. You need to be scoring. That's an easy one's passing up on easy points. Easy things you can bear fruit in. Grow, man. Just grow. It's why don't you want to grow? What is wrong with you? Look not at every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Yeah, you are to esteem brothers, because if you fucking don't, brothers be wanting to fucking give up the ghost, man. Brothers be wanting to fucking leave, man. If we ain't sitting here esteeming one another, man. Let me move on, because I'm done. So, advanced in life, that's ultimately what that term meant. Is what an elder went into. I don't even need that. That's basically it. Sirach 7:14. Use not many words in the multitude of elders, men that have went through that process. Those will be your elders. And make not much babbling when thou prayest. This is what's supposed to be found amongst us. It's going to be elders. Period. That's in every church, man. That's order. That's rank. So this is a part of the touching on the rank thing that I mentioned by the spirit. I've been going for 2 hours. This shit crazy. It ain't shit. It's lucky. It's an honor though. You know, somebody gotta say it, man. And if I'm wrong, you can please correct me. Do a video response. I'm all for the edification. I'm all for the announcement. I'm completely about being reproved and getting better. I ain't gonna run from no smoke, no spiritual. I'm not running from shit. Fuck you. You know, demons in the world. I don't give a fuck, man. Fuck you. You ready to get out of here anyway? I'll leave by any means. How about that? You know? If I had to, man. For the how about me out shot? Fuck you. As long as you keep me with my integrity, fuck you. All right? And those in the spirit understand what I'm saying, man. I ain't trying to be vulgar or nothing. But anyway, this Sirach 32. Shit just get frustrated, man. And 1, it says, if thou be made the master of the feast, Lift not thyself up, which is the elder. See, there go master, sensei, right? But be among them as one of the rest. Take diligent care for them, and so sit down. This is how an elder is to move. You're supposed to, well, I'm just, no, you're supposed to be like bad examples of it would be, Nate was cool at a point, but Lord, that's a whole nother thing. Lord got him where he got him. Johanna, you don't even see this dude. This is how elders supposed to move. You're not supposed to be less necessarily lifting up yourself. You're not supposed to be necessarily lifting up yourself amongst, men like, you can't be brought down. You're supposed to be among them as the rest, man. And that's another way an elder in the spirit, men that actually willing to take that, take on that stage. How Shot did it, John, etc. And when thou hast done all thy office, take thy place, that thou mayest be married with them. You see? And took care of everybody else, then you get yours, man. You see? And receive a crown for thy well ordering of the feast. That's what the elder or master is for. You're a master in knowing how to move, doing what's right. It says, speak thou that are the elder. See? Facts. They exist. For it becometh thee, but with sound judgment, and hinder not music. You the one who you play this song well, man. Period. Let it out, man. Pour not out words where there is a musician, and shoot not forth wisdom out of time. Yeah, going into men trying to pretty much put themselves on the equal level with a better musician than them, which would be their elder. A concert of music and a banquet of wine is a signet of carbuncle set in gold, and signet of emerald set in a work of gold. So is the melody of music with pleasant wine. This is pretty much how the elders that's built up in this truth amongst the church is in comparison to everyone. You know what I'm saying? And you can only in your right mind acknowledge that, respect that, and want that, and esteem that. Who doesn't esteem emeralds? Who doesn't esteem carbuncles, set in gold, pleasant good wine, great melody music, could just flow, hit all the notes, it's all spiritual. Which is breaking these scriptures down. Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. Let thy speech be short, comprehended much in few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue. If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. Who will be your great men? Your elder. Do we got to go back? But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. What does greatest mean again? Midzon. Elder. See that? Elder. Okay. So if thou be, Sirach 32 and 9, if thou be among great men, the young men, meaning what? Elder men, your elder. Make not thyself equal with them. You should know what an elder is after this. And when Naruto did, and when men, and when a cartoon, and when ancient men, it was done by some heathens, so-called Japanese people who got their whole concept from us, the Hebrew Israelites, but we lost it because we don't respect things like that, we don't honor things like this no more, And when ancient men are in place, use not many words, which we know is spiritual. We ancient in the spirit, And when you get people whiff of that, you need to, act like it, man. All of us. I said I had that dream about the elder brother Kazaki Allah. Man, that dream was crazy. Like everything on this man was great. His eyebrows, he had this like olive green long trench jacket on. He was carrying like this briefcase in this place, And now the Lord, that's really where his I don't know what it means. I know it. I think it's a spirit. He probably aged in the spirit. He probably don't feel like he further as far as what he is, but no one can. You can't never really see yourself how other people can clearly see yourself. That's why it's commanded for us to esteem one another, man. You know, I might make a video on it to send it to him. So, you know, never know. I don't know. But anyway, it says 2 Timothy 3:2, it says, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. Now, why would you be obeying your parents in the world that go against Yahweh Shemiah Shah anyway? And if this is those parents that the Lord was talking about, why would he be writing it like that's the issue? Because it's talking about spiritual parents, ultimately. Now, when you look it up, I mean, that's really it. You're going to see, really in the world, it's talking about people. Now, in the world sense, if you in the world, if niggas in the world disobeying their parents, okay, that's different. But us in this truth, that wouldn't make no sense to be the case to apply for us being, say, your parents or our parents are people that completely disobey Yahweh Shemiah Shah, which we are not to receive, and the words of, you know, of instruction that causes us to err. You know, Yahweh Shah didn't want with that. So this talking about your spiritual parents. And that's what you see, man. You know, that's all you see, man. You know, and they that have believing masters, First Timothy 6:2, it says, I'm gonna start at 1. This is spiritual, right? This is actually going into something else, because in the word master, you got 3 words. You got Sarios, or Surios, or Surios, or Sarias, and you have Cathagitates, and you have there's one more. Let me see which one this is. So every time you read masters, it's not Depates. You're not.
Strong's G 1203. Despotes. Despotes.
So every time you read masters, it's talking about in a different sense. So you just can't pull up masters and think this apply to you, and because it don't, you could completely go off. You know what I'm saying? So you just be careful. This is 1 Timothy 6:1. Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of Yahweh Shemiah Shah and his doctrine be not blasphemed. And it says what? It says, and they that have believing masters, let them not despise them because they are brethren, but rather do them service because they are faithful and beloved and partakers of the benefits. These things teach and exhort. So in instance, you have a master that can apply to a man with his wife, because this is the only one that are really like, and then you have one with like, you might have people working for you. And then you got the one that only applies to Yahweh Shah. I forget which order it goes, but yeah. So, for instance, let's just say spiritually, right? You have somebody believing, they got somebody that's working for them. You know what I'm saying? Which is ultimately what this is going into, these servants right here. Like, it's talking about slaves, right? You translated this, it's actually saying that. Really in this verse, more so. You see, verse 1 in NLT, it says, all slaves should show full respect for their masters, so they will not bring shame on the name of God and his teaching. Laki. Okay. And yeah, so say you work, say you a CEO or something, people work for you, right? And y'all all believe. For example, you know, you pay them, you subject to firing and stuff like that. Those of you that work for these people, you like, cause you have people that be like, well, we in the truth, we just believers, you can't save nobody. You're not supposed to take on that attitude, because we all the same. You're not supposed to take on that attitude. And they that believe, because the next verse tell you this, it says in the NLT, if the masters are believers, that is no excuse for being disrespectful, because you will see it like, well, you could believe like me. You subject to the same thing like me. I mean, what are you talking about? You can't save me. You know what I'm saying? Those slaves should work all the harder because their efforts are helping other believers. You see? these masters of theirs. But you basically you got like animosity because of that, because they're over you in a certain regard, to where they, they're your master, whatever. Like you probably work for them or something like that. Like literally, this denotes somebody that's basically a slave to somebody. And the only thing that could compare, right, in reality, is an indentured slave, someone simply working for somebody. Like, let's say Jeffrey and Uncle Phil on Fresh Prince. Say they both believe. He'll feel, and they learn the doctrine, he'll feel animosity because he ultimately know the truth, and he can't save him necessarily. You know what I'm saying? He knows one Savior, and we all, worship Yahweh Shem Shah. But nonetheless, he still work for him. So he'll try to use the belief, the fact that we both believers, they both believers, to basically act like he ain't shit. That's off. Like he over you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't. You see, that's stupid. Especially because he, and then he believed. Like he over you and he believes. So I'm just using this in the spiritual aspect to prove, to like probably speak to those that may feel slighted or like you being one up, which is just your carnal flesh, because you can't be one up by somebody that was used to teach you and brought your ass in. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid. Well, we both believe, so I ain't gonna well, you gonna be out of there. And that's off. It says in the IV, those who have believing masters should not show them disrespect just because they are fellow believers. Man, I ain't calling you know what I'm saying? It says instead they should serve them better, even better, because their masters are dear to them as fellow believers and are devoted to the welfare of their slaves. Because they're not gonna treat you bogus if they're a believer and you work for them, because they already know they can't move like that. They're gonna end up treating you better. You know what I'm saying? Like that's in that regard. But we should be able to understand this in the spirit. Don't use the fact that because you got men over you and you got both believers as a means to be like basically disrespect them. Not make them honorable, because now you just like the rest of these people that don't honor. You know what I'm saying? That they got our people, made out to be shit, not be nothing, not have no position, not nothing, man. These are the things you are to teach and insist on. This was what Timothy was told by Paul to teach, because you're gonna have these type of instances go on, man. So that's an actual physical instance. It's not actually talking about, us, elder teachers, your teachers and the men under you. It's not talking about us, but I just use this to speak to maybe a pretty much a pride, which is like could be a thorn in your side right now. An issue of insubordinates, which is men in the truth go through. It's just real. This is 2 Timothy 4 for different reasons, man. You think you not, you think you're gonna lose, some you being denoted. You know what I'm saying? It's just whatever the hell, man. Like you can't compete with one over you. That's like you trying to compete with your father. You know what I'm saying? Your pops, your dad. That shit don't make no sense, bro. Everything he did, he did before you. So how you can't even compete with him? Now you got that instance in the world. Men trying to compete with their sons, but ain't no elder gonna be acting like that, and ain't no person under the elder, the son, spiritual son, physical son, should be thinking like that in their head regarding the one over them, which would be their elder or they, spiritual father or physical father. 2 Timothy 4:4, it says, and they shall turn their ears from the truth and shall be turned on to faith, and they still ain't gonna adhere. And that, you know what I'm saying? I had a few things pulled up. The scriptures go into how old, you go into it. It said Timothy was like 21. The scriptures Paul told him, don't let no man despise thy youth. You know what I'm saying? When you go into youth, that word right here is
Strong's G 3503. Neates.
You look up youthful age, right? Which is what that means. And then just to prove to you this is from that scripture, let no man despise thy youth. You know, scholars believe that Timothy was like 21, right? That's what they say. Some say 30, you know. Because he met Paul when he was supposedly 16, and then 16 years later, Paul wrote to him and set him up in, 30. You know what I'm saying? But, just because in certain ethnicities or cultures, youth is varies. What youth is considered varies. Like for here, like the United Nations, they say that the youth is between the ages of 15 and 24. You know what I'm saying? And then you got you go here. This is a good one. Youth is also defined as the appearance, freshness, vigor, spirit, characteristic of one who is young. Its definition of specific age range varies, as youth is not defined chronologically. You know what I'm saying? Necessarily. It just varies depending on the culture. How they, deem it. But youth also identifies a particular mindset of attitude, as in he is very useful. You know what I'm saying? So in some places could say the term also sometimes refer to individuals from the ages of 14 to 21. It says when you go to the UN also recognizes that this varies without prejudice to other groups listed by member states such as 18 to 30. So you got basically when they get together, these different countries, the UN, like the actual UN, when they get together, the United Nations, they bring how they assess things to the table. Well, here we say that this is this. You know what I'm saying? So they say certain members in certain countries amongst the UN, right? Amongst these, because the UN is all the countries, a bunch of fucking different countries of the heathens that get together. And some of that body, some of those countries brought to the table that they say, like certain member states say that the age is from youth is considered 18 to 30 here, stuff like that. They say teenagers, 13 to 19, and young adults, those between 20 and 29. And you got another place that say approved projects to raise cap on the age of young people from 30 to 35, right? The range now extending from 14 to 35. They say this is from the state of Duma of the Russian Federation. So in Russia, that you consider youthful to you 30 to 35. From 14 to 35. Okay. Salaki. Yeah, Salaki. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. I just want to finish this thoroughly. It's pretty thorough. So, by the Spirit. Yep. So I ain't gonna go too deep into it, but when you go into like sub-Saharan Africa, the term youth is associated with young men from 15 to 30 or 35 years of age. Nigeria, 18 to 35. They say the gender construction of youth in Latin America, and all this stuff sourced. You know what I'm saying? So people talk shit all day, but you gotta know how to source things. All the sources right here. These sources. But anyway, you got everything. Certain facts. You need sources of. So this is from the University of Indiana. Okay. So this to show that Wikipedia. Wikipedia really just the meat from the bones. Yeah, you come on here and edit stuff, but if it's sourced, you can go get the source. But anyway, it says so the gender constructions of youth in Latin America and Southeast Asia differ from those of sub-Saharan Africa. In Vietnam, widespread notions of youth are social political constructions for both sexes between the ages of 15 to 35. In Brazil, the term youth refers to people of both sexes from 15 to 29. This age bracket reflects influence on Brazilian law of international organizations like the WHO. Right? So yeah, that's basically it. It's another place, the OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which is an intergovernmental economic organization with 38 member countries. So it's a conglomerate of nations, once again, like the UN. But all of them, I guess, upon everybody they got, I ain't gonna say I guess, but based off of them as a whole, defines youth as quote unquote those between 15 and 29. So yeah. So that's just touching on it, man. So you got dudes like characters like Kakashi that's I ain't played this video. Check this out.
Sensei. Is that Naruto?
Yeah, so he called him Sensei. He called him Sensei, and it was Naruto. So he hit that point. He hit that point, that teacher point, that elder point. He aged in the spirit. And he said, is that Naruto? And see, and Naruto was young, man. Naruto might have been, he probably was 30 at that point. You probably go look it up and see. So yeah, that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? Becoming a sensei, you can go into it. You got different martial artists that pretty much say you can. It's basically once you it just varies. You know what I'm saying? It could take 5 to 6 years, 8 to 10, 5 to 6, 4 to 5. It just depends on the development, the rate. You know, on the other hand, in a new school or one with fewer students, you might be forced into teaching basics well before black belt level. So it's when somebody hits the black belt level, but that could be done, you know, in 5 to 6 years, the most 8 to 10. But it depends on when you start. That's upon somebody that's starting at the age of 10, which makes sense for them for it to take 8 to 10 because your brain development. So if you, depending on when you start, it's like men that's able to come in like later. Men came in like 25, 26, you know what I'm saying? 27, 30, 40. It's easier for them to go ahead and catch up. Really, I wouldn't say that. That it just depends on how youthful you still is in like they say in the regards of being vigorous or stuff like that. Because it don't take that much for you. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the individual and the setting. You know what I'm saying? So 8 to 10 years to become a sensei, you have to get the black belt. And for getting a black belt, it approximately takes 5 to 6 years, depends on what age you have started. If you start below the age of 10, Salakia, it takes almost 6 years. And if you started above the age, it will take of 10, it will take 4 to 5 years approximately. You know, it says to become a sensei will take a lot of practice in you and to know all basic to fundamental knowledge of karate. So it will take 8 to 10 years. So, and then you got some people that say it's not even a term. It's just a real term that, like right here, we don't have a rank of sensei, right? Though the word roughly means someone has gone before you or someone born before, you know? So it says it is in some title you're supposed to have bestowed upon you. That's a neighbor guard, right? Or sensei, but we ought to have that over here, right? But at the end of the day, the Lord gonna give us our. If men don't give us shit, Lord gonna give us everything. See, so a rule of thumb, which men are supposed to esteem, but they say a rule of thumb: if anyone who introduces themselves as sensei and so as sensei, so and so is it, you know? And those very men be the main ones committing adultery, bug out, don't understand the scriptures. You know, like dude, what's that nigga name? Cause he a straight nigga. Kornath, Elder Kornath, Elder Rakah. You know, fuck out of here, man. I call like Howard Bashmi Hawashah, well, Howard Kakwadash, Lord willing, this has been edifying and exhorting and admonishment. So you brothers that got, you elder brothers that, you know, don't worry about it, man. Just move how you need to move. You know what I'm saying? You know what's going on, what's supposed to go on. You younger brothers in general, you know, grow, acknowledge what's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Develop some honor about yourself. You know, hold some honor for your conduct, for how your conduct is known to be. Not even just to be seen of man, but knowing that the Lord watching how he views your conduct. So call on like how